From our Washington, D.C. studio, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Hena Zuberi. Our top story tonight. President Joe Biden is trailing Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump in all 7 major swing states. A YouGov polling for Times/Say24 found that Biden was behind in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin from July 4th to the 12th. That is the week after the presidential debate and before last weekend's attempted assassination of Republican presidential frontrunner Trump. Say24 is a joint project from Stanford, Arizona, and Yale universities. Biden has lost ground in every polled swing state since the survey was last conducted in March. The uncommitted campaign against President Joe Biden was conducted in all swing states as a protest vote against President Biden's support of Israel's genocide in Gaza. The president had led in 3 of the states, but has seen his support steadily erode in the past 4 months. The closest races are in Michigan and Pennsylvania, where Biden is behind 1 and 3 points, respectively. Republicans are putting their unity and allegiance on display to their party's presidential nominee, Donald Trump. Former Trump rivals made a case for him despite their earlier position that he's unfit to be president. Nikki Haley was initially not invited to the convention, but that changed in the aftermath of the attempted assassination. She offered a strong endorsement of Trump. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis erased any doubts about the absence of his support for Trump. While the party united behind Trump, the message of unity was undercut by attacks on Democrats, with Arizona Senate candidate Kari Lake and Senator Ted Cruz lashing out at them. Police officers shot dead a man in the secure zone surrounding the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee on Tuesday. The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reports the shooting took place less than a mile from the security perimeter for the convention. The New York Post cites a witness who reported the man was wielding 2 knives, swinging them towards police before the shooting. The incident came days after the assassination attempt on Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump during a rally in Pennsylvania on Saturday. A federal jury in New York has found Senator Bob Menendez guilty of accepting hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes and acting as an unregistered foreign agent. The jury deliberated for 3 days following the senior senator's 9-week trial. It ultimately found him guilty on all 16 charges against him. Prosecutors say Menendez accepted bribes from a trio of New Jersey businessmen that included gold bars, a luxury car, and more than $480,000 in cash. The payments were made in exchange for Menendez carrying out a series of favors. That included shielding individuals from prosecution and illicitly using his office to benefit the Egyptian government. Menendez's wife, Nadine Arsalanian, was charged with crimes in a separate case. However, her trial has been indefinitely delayed to allow her to recover from breast cancer surgery. The Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, is urging state and federal authorities to investigate an alleged hate crime at a Maryland Muslim woman's wedding in Washington. Guests reported facing hate speech and physical assaults by 2 suspects arrested later that night. Incidents include verbal abuse and a physical altercation where one guest was choked and punched for wearing a keffiyeh in solidarity with Palestinians. CAIR Maryland Director Zainab Chaudhry condemned the attack, emphasizing the need for justice amid rising bigotry. The victims have called for a thorough investigation and prosecution of the suspects. The incident underscores ongoing concerns of racism and violence against those advocating for Palestinian rights. Authorities have yet to confirm if hate crime charges will be pursued. Microsoft is facing backlash following a BBC investigation revealing that the company has terminated the email accounts of Palestinians using Skype to call relatives in Gaza. This has severed a vital communication lifeline for many during Israel's ongoing genocide on Gaza that has killed thousands of Palestinians, including children. They report losing access to essential services and long-standing accounts with no clear explanation from Microsoft. Microsoft, which operates Skype, Hotmail, Outlook, and OneDrive, said that account suspensions are due to suspected fraudulent activity, not specific regions. However, Palestinians suspect the bans are linked to their calls to Gaza. The investigation uncovered at least 20 instances where Palestinians had their accounts suspended. Affected users such as Susan Al-Sadi in the US and Elad Hametou in Saudi Arabia have expressed frustration and confusion over the sudden bans. Elad Hametou from Saudi Arabia said that he had been using his email for nearly 20 years and they have killed his life online. Users are demanding transparency and the opportunity to appeal these decisions as the company's actions have disrupted their lives and connections during these critical times. Israel holds 1,500 Palestinian bodies in its Teiman detention center. Details of the story come after the break. Stay tuned and we will be right back. Welcome back. The Israeli army has been holding the bodies of 1,500 Palestinians believed to be belonging to Hamas gunmen in its desert detention center, Teiman, since October the 7th. Israeli daily newspaper Haaretz quoted an Israeli soldier who served in the Teiman detention center as saying that the bodies are held in refrigerators and classified in numbers, not based on names. The soldier added that the bodies are in bad condition as some of them have signs of decomposition, while others have amputated limbs. They were not taken to any forensic medicine center for autopsy. Haaretz believes that the majority of these unidentified bodies are of elite forces of Hamas who crossed into Israeli areas around Gaza on October the 7th. Israel continues its airstrikes on Gaza on Wednesday. This was following Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's pledge to increase pressure on Hamas as hopes for a U.S.-announced ceasefire fades. The Palestinian Health Ministry reports that at least 81 people have been killed and 198 injured in what they describe as two massacres against families over the last 24 hours. Civil defense officials in Gaza say 30 people died in 3 airstrikes in the Nusayrat refugee camp, targeting a UN-run school, a house, and a mosque. Many remain trapped under the rubble, with rescuers struggling to reach them. Palestinian health authorities estimate that more than 10,000 people are missing under the debris of destroyed homes across Gaza. In another bombing in the Shahkush area northwest of Rafah, 2 Palestinians were killed. The Israeli military confirmed its fighter jets hit what they claimed were 25, quote, terrorist targets, unquote, across Gaza in the past 24 hours, including buildings, infrastructure, and squads. UNRWA, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, reports at least 8 UN-run schools sheltering displaced people have been struck in the past 10 days. In 9 months of the genocide, 70% of UNRWA's schools in Gaza have been bombed, resulting in 539 deaths. In addition, 16 Palestinians released from Israeli custody claim they face torture, assault, and humiliation. Israel's war on Gaza has so far killed 38,794 Palestinians. This number has been challenged by the Lancet and injured 89,364 since October the 7th. The International Court of Justice has accused Israel of genocide and recently ordered Tel Aviv to halt its military operations in Rafah immediately. At least 40 Palestinians were killed and scores injured on Tuesday in Israeli attacks targeting displaced people in Gaza, according to local authorities. The health ministry said 17 people were killed and 25 others injured in an airstrike in Al-Mawasi area west of Khan Yunis in southern Gaza. Al-Mawasi was designated by Israeli army as a humanitarian zone for displaced Palestinians amid Israel's ongoing genocide in Gaza. An additional 23 people were killed and 73 others injured in another strike on a UN-run school sheltering displaced people in the Nuseirat refugee camp in central Gaza, according to the government media office. It appealed to the international community, UN agencies, and international organizations to pressure the occupation and Washington to halt the genocidal war in Gaza. In the capital of the Indian-administered Kashmir, Srinagar, a Muharram procession with thousands of participants was turned into a demonstration of solidarity with Palestinians on Monday. Muharram is the first month of the lunar Islamic calendar. The Indian government has banned Free Palestine demonstrations in Kashmir since the start of Israel's war on Gaza. It has also disallowed prayers at the Grand Mosque to prevent rallies in support of Palestine. Defying the administration, protesters waved Palestinian flags and chanted anti-Israel slogans. The Shia community was allowed to mark the 8th day of the Islamic month with a procession along with the traditional route. This procession, banned for more than 3 decades, was reintroduced by the Indian government last year to improve relations with the Shia minority. Analysts say that the Indian government had been trying to build relations with the Shia population and the ethnic Gujjar and Butari populations to break Muslim unity and minimize the political influence of the majority ethnic Sunni Kashmiris. The Indian newspaper The Telegraph reports that these efforts have so far not been met with success, as evident from the Muharram procession. Bangladesh has indefinitely closed all educational institutions following violent clashes that left 6 dead and many injured. Students were protesting the reinstatement of quotas in government jobs, which was abolished in 2018. These reserve 56% of the government entry jobs for certain demographics and classes. Of the current 56% quota, 30% of all jobs in the public sector are reserved for the families of those who participated in Bangladesh's 1971 Liberation War. Student demonstrators are demanding that quotas for civil service jobs be abolished and given to candidates based on merit. This is what sparked clashes with police and ruling party affiliates in the capital Dhaka and other cities. Ruling party students allegedly attacked demonstrators, resulting in more than 200 injured. In Dhaka, roads and railways were blocked, paralyzing the city. Border Guard Bangladesh has been deployed in several districts to restore order and ongoing demonstrations demanding merit-based job allocations. The situation remains tense, with casualties including students and bystanders. Amnesty International has strongly criticized France's decision to prohibit its women athletes from wearing headscarves in the 2024 Olympics and Paralympic Games in Paris. The organization argues that this ban violates international human rights laws. The International Olympic Committee, or IOC, has been urged to intervene, with Amnesty deeming their response insufficient. Anna Blues, Amnesty's international women's rights researcher in Europe, emphasized that such rules violate human rights and hinder efforts to promote inclusivity in sports. Advocacy groups have petitioned the IOC to pressure France to overturn these bans, citing violations of international treaties and Olympic principles. French sports federations, including football and basketball, enforce similar restrictions, sparking ongoing campaigns for policy changes. French groups that advocate for non-discrimination and gender equality, such as Les Hijabus and Basket pour tous, have been campaigning for such bans to be overturned. That's all from our Washington, D.C. studios tonight. Thank you for tuning in. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for the latest updates. Your support is needed more than ever to continue our mission of providing informative, educational, and inspiring content in North America and around the world. Donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV or visit our website. Assalamu alaikum and good night.